Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another episode of Build-A-Figure. This is just a series where we look at custom head sculpts, outfit sets, we do kit bashes, you name it. But most importantly, we build figures. Today, we're going to be taking a look at not one, but two custom head sculpts meant to be paired with Star Race's Rocky Balboa, from Rocky 2 specifically. For those of you who either already have that piece or have seen pictures of it online, I think you know why I ended up getting these upgraded head sculpts. Because this is the stock head sculpt. I wish I was joking because this figure is actually pretty pricey, but no, I'm not. This is what they gave us. It is an unmitigated disaster, no matter how you look at it. Even though it's got moving eyes and a swap out hat/hairpiece, those things don't do anything to save this head sculpt. And it's a shame because the prototype done by Waruna was actually a really good sculpt. But somehow during mass production, we ended up with this, and it's an insult to Sly, honestly. I've got no idea how whoever's in charge over at Star Race went to the factory, looked at the final production version and said, yep, that's what we're shipping. Pop them in the box and send them out. I don't mean to be rude to anyone at the company. I'm sure they're doing their best and somehow it just ended up looking like that. Still, Star Race needs to check themselves. They do not deserve to have the Rocky license. It's an iconic franchise and fans deserve better than what they gave us. Anyway, this is the 1.0 version of the Rocky 2 head sculpt by Jin Toy. I was happy with this, but it turns out Jin wasn't. He went ahead and made 2.0 versions, both with and without the hat, and those are the sculpts we're going to be looking at today. Already, the 1.0 is a huge improvement compared to the stock Star Race one. Sometimes, for an artist, the biggest challenge is we're all our own biggest critics, so while that 1.0 sculpt was bloody beautiful, not for Jin. Jin was not satisfied, he kept working on it, and now we've ended up with this improved 2.0 version. I often keep reshooting and reshooting and reshooting clips because I don't like the way I sound, or I didn't use the right adjective, or I repeated a word, so yeah, I get it. I don't mean to call myself an artist, I just understand the process, is what I'm trying to say. Now, each Jin Toy sculpt does come with this very shiny gold certificate of authenticity that's hand-signed and hand-numbered. Also, he's not just made a head sculpt this time round. He's also included these neck-thickening adapters, so when you pop this sculpt on a Phison body, it actually looks in scale. It's not this thin pencil neck inside of this fully fleshed out head sculpt. Because this sculpt is a little bit rounder and larger in scale as compared to his 1.0. First in-hand impressions for the hat-wearing Rocky. Absolutely flawless. This looks like Sly from every angle. The skin texture is insanely sharp, there's a 5 o'clock shadow, the eyes have a lot of depth and life to them, and the hat has plenty of texture on it as well. Plus some little sections that look slightly nicked as though the hat is well worn. The reason I technically bought the same head sculpt twice is because, number one, I love Jin's work, and number two, one doesn't have the hat on. Star Race is making a boxing ring version of Rocky, and we know they're simply not capable of doing Sly justice in 1/6 scale. So while the outfit and the custom Phison seamless body, they're going to be fine, the head sculpt very likely isn't. That's what this head sculpt is for. I'm future-proofing myself, so when that figure releases, I'm already going to have a head sculpt ready to go. Does this look like Sly? Definitely. Is it the same sculpt as this one, just without the hat on and the fringe now coming down the front? Yep, and I am not mad at that at all, because both of these, they're killer sculpts. Y'all ready for this? Because I don't know if you are. Here is the side-by-side comparison. The skin tone is super yellow and flat and it lacks detail on the left, versus the Jin Toy sculpt. That is Sly, that is a young Sylvester Stallone. No matter which way you look at it, this is trash, this one isn't. Dude, how did they make this head sculpt? Every time I look at it, I'm even more shocked at how terrible it is. It's so bad that when I received the figure in hand, I skipped the review. I couldn't even be bothered filming it because I did not have the energy at the time to rant and rave about how awful it looks. Turns out now I do. Switching out the hairpiece for a hairpiece, removing the hat, yeah, nah. There is no chance anyone is going to pick this head sculpt over this one. While I prefer the hatted version from Jin, this still destroys the Star Race sculpt. While they did screw up the head sculpt, the outfit and the body are surprisingly good. The jacket is well tailored. It's made of this shiny style material. It's got real working pockets and a real zipper. He's got a red shirt under it, the metal chain with the cross on it, his watch, the bracelet that is technically a dog collar. He wanted to wear it to match Butkus, and the tiger printed on the back of the jacket. If you find that the skin tone doesn't quite match with the neck and the Jin toy head sculpts, you can use some baby powder on a little makeup brush, apply it to the silicone, and it will lighten up the skin tone just a little. After you've done that, then you can install these neck thickening adapters on the inside of the silicone between the body and the metal post for the neck connector, which means it'll go from looking like this to this. Thicker, chonkier, and properly in proportion with the head sculpt. This? I mean, I am so freaking excited to finally have a proper Rocky for the collection. I haven't actually attached this to the body, so let's get that done. It just goes to show that no figure is unsavable, even when it comes with a feral-looking, awful head sculpt like the one Star Race gave us. Using the neck thickening adapters have beefed him up a little, it helps with proportions, and it fills out the underside of this new head sculpt. The head sculpt does all of the heavy lifting. This has gone from a figure that I was embarrassed to own to a figure that is going to be displayed front and center with the rest of my Rocky collection. I'm blown away with how good this now looks. Even this is brilliant. While I have this sculpt earmarked to go on the other version of Rocky coming out from Star Race, for now, every now and then I might just change it up, switch the hat head sculpt out for this one. The only good thing about the Star Race sculpt is the hat is removable. So now I can have this Rocky holding his hat if I have this head sculpt on him. Wrapping up on another episode of Build-A-Figure. This, to most, probably just seems like a regular old run-of-the-mill head swap video. For me, it's so much more than that. Growing up, I watched the shit out of the Rocky movies with my mum. She introduced me to them, and we watched them over and over and over again. Unfortunately, in 2019, she passed away. So now, the Rocky franchise means so much more to me, and I really wanted to have that super high quality version of Sly as Rocky in the display, so that every time I looked at it, I could remember watching Rocky for the first time. Star Race? Y'all did not deliver the goods with the final product. The prototype was actually okay. The mass production version, far from it. But Jin Toy came to this figure's rescue. I cannot thank Jin enough. You killed it. This head sculpt, in fact, both head sculpts, were worth every penny. They were expensive, the figure was expensive, but it's a personal project for me, and that's what Build-A-Figure is kinda sorta turning into. I'm making these passion projects, and I'm having so much fun while doing it. Fingers crossed you'll have enjoyed this series so far, and you can bet there's a hell of a lot more yet to come. I have popped some links to Jin Toy's website in the description below. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.